true. It's been a while. It's been a while since we used that intro. It's been a few months. Maybe a few months. Anyways, how's everybody doing on this Sunday? Well, Sunday afternoon where I am. How's your weekend, everybody? In lieu of the, not in lieu of, but in honor, that's a good way of putting it. In honor of the quartering, I'm going to ask, how's everybody's weekend? Hey, I'm excited for this. I talked about streaming last night. I apologize for not being on. I decided to put time into the quality of the sounds that come from my streams. And I've been complaining for a long time about the wind speed, not wind speed, but the wind noise. And I finally found, I think, some filters that will work. I've been testing it out. Now I need to alter these like per aircraft, which only takes a few seconds to do. But I think I found a really good set of filters from VST. It's free. If you have OBS, you can just go Google VST filters. I can't really show you the filters like in OBS because it doesn't capture that part of the display. But if you right click on one of your audio sliders in OBS and go to filters, when you click on the plus sign, that very last option, VST 2.x plugin, they have a lot of really good filters. They're pretty easy to install. You just have to install it and then just really just pull it up in OBS, and it's got tons of ways to boost the engines, take out a lot of the wind noise. Damn, my hair is fucked up again. Good Lord. Good Lord, can I have a good hair day on stream? Is that possible? All right, so I talked about a couple of these airplanes the other day. The Super Constellation is now native on 2024. The ATR is now native on 2024. That's going to be the first plane we're going to be looking at. Now, we're not doing full flights today. We're just checking this shit out. And then on X-Plane, they have the new Thranda, or Thranda, depending on what part of the country you're from. Thranda, or Thranda, Thrada, maybe it's Thrada. Maybe those A's are a long vowel and it's Thrada. I don't think so. That would be kind of a stupid name for a company. Dude, how are things at Thrada? But they have a new V35B Bonanza. Yo, what's up, Scotland? So yeah, we're going to check out a couple of these new updates. Hopefully these new filters will deaden some of the wind noise. One thing, if you are recording or if you are streaming and shit like this, and some of you guys may know this already, but if you are in OBS and you're using their filters, if you use the limiter, it is really going to make your audio sound like shit. So essentially what a limiter does is it's similar to a compressor. It tries to prevent your audio from peaking. However, with the limiter, the wind noise is always triggering. Think of it like a gate opening and closing, right? When sound hits the gate will close, preventing the sound from coming in or lessening the sound. And then when the sound goes away, the gate opens back up and it lets all the other noises in free of charge. Like there's no cover charge. So yeah, there's only a cover charge if you're wind noise. If you're wind noise, they charge you a cover charge at the gate. But no, it makes it really choppy, and no matter what you set the attack to or the release to, it just is very choppy. One thing you can try to do is lower the environmental slider for sound. You can take that all the way down. You know, you can lower the cockpit. Sometimes that helps. Sometimes adjusting the listening mode too will deaden some of the wind noise. But yeah, let's jump in this ATR. Let's see what this thing's all about. It's a free upgrade if you already have it. I will be looking at my phone a couple of times during the stream today. I apologize. My son graduated the other day, and we're going out for dinner tonight, and I'm not sure where we're going yet. So, all right, let's, I never fly the 42. Let's check out the 42. And then we have the Super Constellation. We're going to check out after that, see how that thing is, because that's brand new update for 2024. And then we're going to jump into X-Plane and check out that new I don't know. Is it called Thrada? I don't really think it's Thrada. I think it's Thranda. Like, I really have a hard time believing that they would call their company Thrada. It's such a dumb name for a company. All right. We got a lot of different models here. We got passenger, Highline 2. Let's see what passengers. Do we have any Air Fujis? Air Fujis. Ah, that's a cool livery. Air St. Pierre. Maybe we'll just fly around the Caribbean. Ah, Silver Airways. There we go. We can fly around the Bahamas. That's cool. Nothing like your emasculated hot pink airplane. All right, let's see if we put a tail number in here, if it'll actually put the tail number in for us. All right, let's put in our usual tail number when we don't have a real flight we're copying. 5220, 5220, 52 for Ray Lewis, and 20 for Ed Reed. All right, we have silver. We'll leave it, let's put in our typical flight number here. All right, let me build a quick flight in the tablet, and then we'll jump into the simulator here. Let's leave from let's leave from Nassau. Oh wow, really? For hotel mode? I don't know what hotel mode is. Is that a new feature? Hotel mode? And let's go to Treasure Island, Florida. I don't think I've ever heard of hotel mode before. Oh, it's not treasure. It's treasure something. Oh, well, fuck it. Let's just fly to Fort Lauderdale. We're not going to do the whole flight anyways. Now let's go to Jacksonville. I used to have a grandfather who lived in Jacksonville. Oh, if I can spell Jacksonville. You know what? Let me just put in the airport code. I am having trouble spelling words this morning. Oh, I got you. Prop break. Yeah. Oh, the gust lock on. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know, I don't usually remove the gust lock. I appreciate the heads up on that. Yeah, I don't usually remove the gust lock until we're ready for takeoff. Actually, I usually leave it on while we're taxiing as well. All right. Let's do that, and let's start at a gate. We're just going to do an automatic route here. Oh, the gust lock is off when you spawn in. No shit. Really? I always thought it was on. Maybe it's different now. It always looked like it was on. All right. Let's do that. Now the sound should be okay right now. We'll see what happens when we start turning the engines on. We'll see how that sound is at that point. Yeah, see, that's peaking a little bit. Let me turn on the filter. I do have a limiter turned on, but it's only for -5 decibels. It's really just to keep it from peaking a little bit. -5 decibels is not going to make the air sound choppy. So my biggest thing is that I want to keep the sound from peaking into the yellow, really, because then it's going to be higher than my voice. And nobody, you know, let's be honest, nobody tunes in to watch the aircraft. Y'all tune in to see me. Y'all like watching a fat middle-aged man fly airplanes. That's that's fun, man. All right. It looks pretty damn good, man. Oh, look, it does put your tail number on, so if you want to put a tail number in or recreate a real flight, once you get the registration tail number, you can actually input that. That's pretty dope. Now, I know I talked about using my Turtle Beach system this weekend, but checking out these airplanes, it is much smoother and much easier for me just to use my Xbox controller. If I do like an actual flight later tonight, which I might do, then I might use it at that point. This airplane looks really good. Can we move the chocks from out here too? Oh yeah, we sure can. Yeah, even getting right up on it, man, it looks really good. Dude, I am so stoked that the ATR is finally out as a native version. This is probably my favorite airplane to fly in... My favorite propeller plane to fly in the simulator. I think that's the inside of the door there. Alright, so nothing else to take off. Let's see if we open a door, if that allows us in the cabin here. Alright, it does, but there's no... Oh, yeah, that's right, and there's no sound. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and just build a certain payload here. Fuel. Okay, that's fine. We can start loading that. Alright, aircraft. Cold and dark. Let's put the wheel chocks back in. Let me see if the gust lock... Oh yeah, it sure does spawn in now with the gust lock off. Oh, that is interesting. Huh. Yeah, that's definitely new for 2024. Alright, let's get this thing turned on, and if I have to play with some filters real quick to get the sound tweaked, I will. That's going to be the one thing about this new audio kind of... I don't want to say setup, but this new audio... I guess it is setup you could use, but yeah, I'm going to have to, like, every time I get in an airplane, it's going to take me a few seconds to get it tweaked properly. Not really so much at this stage of the game, but as we get the engines turned on and shit, yeah. Actually, let me change the compressor a little bit here. Let's take the limiter off now. Okay. I'm not worried about passengers and any of that shit today. Let's just get the one engine on. All right, and start. Let me turn the sound of the music. Actually, let me just turn the music off for now. All right, so far that's okay. Put my headphones up a little bit. Let's do this here. Let's get rid of the wheel chocks. Let's close this door up. Okay, load aircraft. Set takeoff trim. All right, let's back up. We'll probably just use slew mode for this. Let's turn off that. Let's turn that off. Oh yeah, yeah, I import from SimBrief all the time actually. I just didn't build a flight plan for this in SimBrief just because I'm just testing it out. Yeah, that's why I'm not pulling any kind of flight plan in. But yeah, typically I do. I did that last time. I usually build it on SimBrief first and then come on in. Sometimes I build it in SimBrief in the simulator and then send it over. But yeah, no, today we're just testing this out. At least let me get my position put in here. Okay. And let's click on you. All right, let's go into slew mode here. I remember how to get into slew mode. Hang on a second. Oh, Shift Z. Okay. All right, let's get number 1 turned on. Then after we get both engines turned on, we'll I'll play with the EQ if I need to. Hang on, it switched my controller back. Oh, you guys, always switching these. Okay. All right, so far it's not, the sound is not overbearing. The sound is actually kind of low from where I usually have it. Graduation was good, dude. Yeah, there's a, he did this night school thing, and there was about maybe about 200, no, about 400 kids that, about 400 kids that graduated, which is awesome. That these you know, that the kids graduated. All right, let's turn the prop brake off. But yeah, it was good. It was a nice facility, you know, nice area they held it in the school, and then seating was a bit out there, a bit much to do. But it was really like a clusterfuck in a way, the way that they had their seating arrangements. But other than that, it was great. Yeah, thank you. All right, see, here's the thing. We don't really hear the engines too well right now. Let me go in and adjust one of the filters here real quick. So if you're using the again, this is with the VST filters. The first one I have is reefer, not reefer like weed, but like REAFIR. I guess it is reefer. Reefer standalone. I have it in EQ mode. Let me go ahead and put it in subtract for a moment. You're not going to hear anything. But putting it in, I really wish there was a way I could show you what I'm doing right now. But when you put it in subtract mode, it brings all the levels up to where everything is kind of like peaking, and then you can set it into like compressor mode from there, or you can leave it in precise mode. All right, see, I kind of like that. You know, you don't hear a whole lot of wind noise. You can kind of hear the engines humming. Let me check one thing. Let me put this in EQ mode. Oh, not EQ mode, compressor mode. All right, that didn't do much. See, EQ mode, you really just hear the low end, which I don't really care. I don't really. Well, I mean, maybe that is. Maybe I'll leave it there and we'll try it. Now I can raise certain variables. Like you can individualize the frequencies and adjust them to make them louder or... well, here's the wind right here between 1,000 and 2,000 megahertz. Okay. All right, let's leave that there for a moment. Let's taxi and see how that sounds. Flight plan. Oh, I know the flight plan's not available. Okay, let's put our flaps down. Let's make sure TRU is working. All right, TRU is now on. We can turn off the cross feed for the hydraulics now that everything is working. All right, let's taxi out to one of the runways and see how this thing... I'm sure it's going to fly well. Yeah, see how like a lot of the wind noise is gone? I like that. It's just you can't really hear much else of the engine though, that's the thing. I'd rather sacrifice a little bit of that kind of noise than have it all wind noise, because that, you know, that's been a big complaint for a lot of folks flying this simulator is the wind noise. I mean, I read a lot of the you know, whether it's on Reddit I see it or the different forums. Yeah, wind noise is a huge thing. I know we didn't finish the setup properly. I'm not worried about that. I just want to see how it flies and how it sounds. Yeah, we'll take off, spin around, head east, and then get up to like 12,000 feet or so and see how this thing sounds. Right now, I think it sounds pretty damn good from what I can hear. Yeah, there's 4 filters I have on from... Well, you know, I can pull the website up while we're flying and show you guys the website of the company. I forget the name of the company. If you type in VST OBS filters, it should be like the first company. It's like REA something or something. But yeah, I have 2 different EQ filters on for cutting out a lot of the high-end hiss and frequencies. So far, leaving the sound on TV mode. And I turned turbulence down a little bit too. I had turbulence on realistic. I put it down to low, just to see if that helps with the wind noise. So once we get up in the air, we'll turn that back on and see if that does anything to the wind noise. Sometimes turbulence will do it. Sometimes having live weather on will do it because of the wind gusts and things like that. But yeah, I just hate it when you turn the engines on and you can't even hear the engines. All you hear is just shh. That really grinds my gears, Quahog. Normally we'd stop here and get clearance, but we already talked to them. They're good with us leaving. They actually want us to leave. They want us to leave like really quickly. Yeah, we caused a little bit of trouble in the Bahamas the last couple of days. It wasn't all my fault. I mean, some of it was, but like, I don't want to really get into it now. I don't want to self-snitch, self-incriminate. No self-snitching. Alright, I'm not worried about lights or anything like that either. Let's just make sure we can Let's see here. We are tuned. Oh, shit. All right. Gust lock is gone. Both of those are on auto. Let's put this at one, we'll say 200. We'll climb out at 200 knots. All right, park and brake off. Okay, now I think west is set. Yaw dampener on. All right, let's turn around to the west. Let's go into MCT mode. Now that our landing gear is up. IAS mode. Put our flaps up. And so far, this thing is really nice. Real nice. I know that's unrealistic, by the way, putting the autopilot on while you're turning, but we are in a simulator, and it let us do it. Oh, we need to turn that speed way up. Good lord. Here, we'll put it on 180. All right, let's put our power management in climb mode. All right, so we're not really peaking on the audio. Let me just play with some filters here and see if we can get this sound a little better. Okay, that's the compressor off. Oh, wow, that's a big one. Let's play with that a little bit here. Okay, so real fur. Yeah, that looks all right. Real EQ. Yeah, that looks okay. Okay, here we go. All right, knee attack. Let's leave that at 6. All right, here's our low end. That's sounding pretty good. Our second low end at 250 hertz. Okay. Then at 2500 hertz. That one we could probably move down a little bit. And then our last one is at 6000 hertz. Yeah, that's kind of like white noise. All right, this is the phone call I've been waiting on. Let me go mute myself while we're flying. After the phone call, we'll jump into Connie and try that out. Wait 1 second, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. You know what? If I take off all the filters right now, let's just see what it sounds like without any of the filters on. I kind of like it like this, though. And most of the time, to be honest, like when we're flying... Oh, I thought that was a bald spot for a second. That's just the way it's shining off the thing. I was like, good lord. I used to have a full head of hair. Like, in the last, like, couple of months, it's been getting a lot thinner. A lot thinner. All right, so I kind of like the way this sounds. You know, we can hear the hum of the engines. Let's go sit in the back. I don't even know if I want to play with the filters. I kind of like the way this sounds. Oh, let's turn our engines down a little bit, though, so we don't overspeed. Yeah, I mean, this is cool. I like the way this sounds. Yes, Phoenix is very loud for the wind noise. I was able to get that to sound better, though, with these filters. That was one of the airplanes I was trying out the most last night. Yeah, I have been able to get Phoenix to sound pretty good, All right, well, this has my thumbs up. This is a wonderful airplane. They did a really good job bringing this thing over into 2020, 2024. This thing is great. All right, let's jump into Connie. Good old bad girl Connie. I only have about another hour I can really do this for, and then I have to start getting ready for dinner. I'll be back later tonight, though. Oh, you know what? Let me, before we fly, let me pull up the website for the filter set that I'm using. Give me a second. Let me just get them pulled up here. Okay, yeah, Reaper.fm. Okay, so let me share my display. Gee, let me turn off the sound of the game. All right, so if we go to, let's see here, yeah, so Reaper. Most people running Windows, you're going to download this 64-bit here, and then the folder for it. It'll install here. You can create a folder first if you want VST plugins, but it has all these filters here. Compressor, MIDI control, delay, EQ. Reefer, that's the first one I'm using. That's the one where you can pinpoint the exact frequencies and drop them up or down depending on what you want to do. It's got a pretty good little README section in here. This compressor is really good as well. They have a noise gate. I didn't see a limiter, but it has EQ, delay. It's got a lot of really cool features to it. But yeah, it's really good, and this is kind of what it looks like. Okay, yeah, so here's the compressor, right? Now, if you guys don't know what knee size is how the compressor or the filter works in regard to what you're trying to use it for. So when it's at 0, it's very harsh, it's very abrupt. Like if it's a gate, it like slams the door shut, swings it open. The higher you have the decibels, the softer transition it would be. But yeah, here's the compressor. Here's the real X one. So this one I have 4, like this one set up. The lowest frequency is at like 100 hertz. Then it's at like 250 for number 2, and then so on and so forth. They have a delay. I'm not using that. There's EQ. This is the one I'm using to really get the rumble of the engines. This one here, I have this number 1 set to like 50 for the frequency. Now this reefer, this is the one I was talking about going into like precise mode and things like that. So edit mode, you can do soft or you can do precise. And then this mode down here, if you put this in subtract, it'll give you a little button next to it. You click on that button, you won't hear anything, but it will take all of these points on the graph and create a point graph for you, like a point chart. And then once you turn off the button for subtract mode, hold in your control button and then just drag this red bar to where you want it. When you drag it down, dragging it down will actually give you sound. So right now, if you were to download this and put the mode in precise and click on the button to activate it, you will hear nothing. Even when you turn it off, like if you click on the button again, you'll hear nothing. What you have to do is you have to drag this red bar, the whole thing, all the way down to the bottom. And as you drag this down, the yellow bar comes up, which is the actual sound, and it will match these different points. And then from there, you can create as many points as you want and really customize the sound. But yeah, it is really, yes, it's a lot of work. But if you want to get rid of the wind noise, so far, this is the only thing I've found that's worked. Yep. And then there's also a gate as well. Yeah. I tried using Microsoft Copilot and Grok last night to help out. They were no help. They were giving me, well, actually Grok was a bit of help. But we're not friends with Grok anymore because of one of our channel elite, Mr. Grease. He is still trying to get his Grok. Yeah, Elon, if you're listening, cancel Grease, because Grease has canceled your services months ago and he can't get his money back. So yeah, you guys are still charging him. So Elon, if you're listening, cancel Grease. DM me and I'll give you his email address. DM me, Elon, come on, don't be a bitch. When you DM me, send me some money. I'll give you my Venmo account. Just send me like something with a couple of commas in it. Don't have to be much. It could have 2 commas in it. You know, I can live with 2 commas. That's what, like 2 million? I can deal with that, Elon. We'd be okay. Just give me like 4 shares of like Tesla or something like that. All right, let's see here. We got Breitling. Oh, I don't want to configure this again. Son of a bitch. All right, let's go over to Europe, where this airplane probably would have flown. Yeah, let's leave from Geneva. Hopefully Geneva's got a long enough runway. Let me see here. Oh yeah, they got a long enough runway. Okay. So let's do... Actually, no, we'll do a different airport. Where is... Yeah, we'll leave from Zurich. And we'll just go to one of these large cargo ramps. Alright, and then let's say we're gonna fly to... Nice to Kozur. Oh, you son of a bitch. I didn't mean to do that. Alright, arrival. Cargo large. And let's just do a flight where they just pull in the flight plan automatically. There we go. Alright, let's give this a shot. Now, I haven't tried this with the new filter setup yet, so I really don't know how this is gonna sound. We'll find out in a minute, though. Oh, do I have auto FPS and all that shit running too? Alright, we got GPU-Z, but no auto FPS. Ooh, look at that. That's cool looking. That's new. Hang on, let me get auto FPS running here. Wow. That is cool. Hang on a second. I just want to make sure auto FPS is up and running. Yeah, it's up and running. Okay. And let me turn the game audio all the way back up again. Wow, look at this. So, remove pins. This thing looks great, man. Wow. Star Switzerland. Look at that. I got a... Do I have a Breitling? No, I don't have a Breitling. I thought I had a Breitling watch, but I don't. I have a lot of watches, but not Breitling. So let's see here. So can we... Okay, so trap. Covers. Okay, remove pins. Check. Oh, look at that. That is cool. So it gives you a little asterisk there. All right, so start. We got to start on the other side. I wonder as we remove these things if Yep. Oh, that is dope. Look at that. As we're taking them off, it's removing them. That is cool. Sorry, a little hot. A little hot in here today. All right, let's remove some of these other covers. Very cool. So, all right, so we can remove all those. Let's go inside. Okay, so that goes away once we get inside the cockpit. Hang on, I gotta change my controller again. I should just change this to the default controller for the keyboard. Give me a second, let me do that real quick. Okay, now we should be able to get into the cockpit here. There's our handy dandy clipboard, that's what we need. Wow, you're scary looking. They're actually better than some of the other ones, but not much. You're very scary. You don't have really eyebrows. Oh, there they are. Wow. It's like I said it and it came true. Maintenance. Dyno charge, motor oil, extra clipboards. Oh, that's not clipboards. Very cool. Any of these doors open up? Nope. All right, that one will. Oh, look at that. Now, you can have... oh, wow, you can actually play with the buttons here. Holy shit. That is cool. Ah, we can do Morse code. Look at that. That is cool. Look at that. That's cool that you can actually interact with that. Our esteemed colleagues and guests. Welcome to the last flight of your life. Dude, that is not very ladylike. That is not very ladylike. You showing to everything. Can't do that. You gotta cross your legs. Some of these people look better than they usually do. Not much. All right, let's get our clipboard out. Okay, type of flight, we'll do normal. Cold start. Okay, visibility, let's turn off all the people. And let's now, when you have a coffee mug, that means you have AI assistance. So let's go ahead. Okay, APU, standard. Okay, less visual effects. You can choose your different systems. You can have the Garmin or the GTN. I think is it the 650 I have a subscription to? No, it's a 750, I think. Yeah, the 750 is what I have. We're not going to use that though. I don't like using that. I like using the Zero reader they have up there. No chemtrails, gear damage. That's pretty cool. Oh, look, we have a heads-up display too, and you can change the graphical setting of that. That is pretty dope, man. That's something new. All right, we're gonna do a national flight. That's what we have selected. Okay, let's see here. Standard payload. Let's just do instant payload. Okay, that all looks good. All right, let's give them their orders.
Checklist before starting engines. Remove before flight.
Checked.
Battery.
On.
If you want to
Dome light.
On.
do all this stuff, you certainly can, but
Nav lights.
we're going to be using those guys.
Radio and instrument.
Here's all of our pins and
COM1 and COM2 panels.
On. And okay.
I thought there was going to be a way.
Power.
Ew, is that his boyfriend? Ew, I didn't know they had gay guys back then.
Connected.
I'm just kidding. I don't care if he's gay. I'm just fucking around.
All services.
Checked. Removed.
Ground power.
On.
Oh, it removes the seats if you remove the
Parking
people.
brake.
That's interesting.
Check and set. Aileron and rudder boosters.
Oh wow, you can actually you can actually turn these on and off. That is cool.
Elevator booster. On. Ordnance lights. On.
Very cool.
Cabin lights. On.
All right, let me go in the back and save a couple of seats.
Stairs. On. Main door.
Open.
Very cool. This is a really.
Valves.
They've
Check.
done a couple of upgrades in this from what I remember, man. This is. Well, there's still invisible walls everywhere.
Emergency cut-off levers. On.
I want to come back here so we can see the flames shooting out of the engines. While we're flying, you can see the flames coming out of the engines.
Fuel tank selectors.
1, 2, 3, 4. On.
Coal flaps.
1, 2, 3.
God damn,
4.
these
Open.
fucking walls.
Carburetor air.
All right, maybe we
1,
can't make our
2,
way over there.
3,
That's all right. We can see
4.
it from the outside.
To cold.
Let's put on some lights.
Oil cooler flaps.
1, 2, 3, 4. Open.
I think the first one is red.
Cross weight and center of gravity.
Weights and balances. Check and confirm.
Prepare for boarding.
All right, let's click on end boarding.
End of boarding. Resume before start of checklist.
Fire warning system. 1. 2. 3.
Let me turn the sound up of the airplane a little bit. Seems like it's kind of low.
4. Close all doors.
Checked.
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 Stairs.
Checked.
Okay.
Removed.
Chokes.
That is without any filters, by the
Check.
way, right now.
Checklist before starting engines complete.
Hear all that wind noise in the back? Now, if I turn that reefer on, that's just a reefer by itself. And what we'll do is after we get the engines turned on, we'll run the... God, I really wish there was a way I could show you guys what I'm looking at. Let me just double check there isn't a way to display that. I don't think there is because it's part of OBS. I know Dabney Coleman. Hell yeah, man. He was in a lot of 80s movies. He was always like the dad or like the asshole at the FBI or the police or... Yeah, I remember him. Dabney Coleman. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. See, you can see when I choose filters. You just can't see after I choose it. That's the thing. Damn, that sucks. Actually, you know what? Maybe there is a way. Let me just check one thing. Maybe there is a way where I can... I don't think there is. Let me see here. Let's see here. Display. Maybe window capture. Maybe that would work. No, it won't do it. Fuck. Alright. Dabney Coleman. I haven't heard that name forever, man. That's like somebody saying, like, Michael Keaton. Like, I haven't heard that name forever either, Michael Keaton. Isn't there some really old actor that's, like, now... Spider-Man or something like that? Isn't, like, Nicolas Cage, like, the new Spider-Man or some shit? I could have sworn I saw that the other day on... I don't remember what if it was Netflix or Amazon or... Yeah, I don't want to see some old decrepit Batman, like, or Spider-Man. All right, let's, oh, we can just taxi right out from here, actually. We don't need to push back. All right, let's, remove the chocks. Okay, status. Might have to go outside and remove the chocks manually. Alright, chocks are now removed. Ground power is still connected. Alright, let's start up the engines.
Checklist starting engines. Position lights.
I think I have to start the engines, don't I?
Starter engine 3.
Oh no, they start the engines, that's right.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Engine 3.
You got to do the same type of counting in the DC-6 as well, but you have to count it yourself because they don't count it for you in the DC-6.
On.
Oh wow, that is really loud. Let me turn that down a bit.
Engine 4.
Alright, give me a moment. Let me get the filters back open here. We gotta...
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, engine 4. 3, 4. Starter engine 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Generator 2 on. Starter engine 1.
Give me a second. Let me just rerun subtract mode real quick. Yeah, it sounds weird right now. It'll only I only need to do this for a few more seconds. Okay. All right, let's put it in EQ mode. All right. Nope, I don't like that. Let's put it back in subtract mode. Yeah, that doesn't sound good either, actually. Alright, now that everything is... Let me just rerun this one last time. Let's give it a few more seconds. Now let's try to... See, that would be okay with me. I just don't hear a little bit of that hiss. Let me put the... Oh, no wonder I don't have the volume all the way up. Hang on a second. I'm turning the sound off for you guys for a minute while I finish getting this sorted out here. You guys can just listen to the music for now for a second. Alright, that's now set back up again. Let's go into EQ mode. Alright, compressor mode seems like... No? Alright, maybe that's okay there. Let me check this compressor mode here. Okay, real compressor. Oh, that's why. Okay, I gotta turn the gain down on the low end a little bit. That's why. Alright, let's put these back up to normal range. Let me turn off the sound of the music. Okay, so those are back to normal range. Under EQ. Okay, and then real fur. Let's go back into compressor mode. All right, I think that's okay. Let me just put on the limiter just to make sure we don't spike. All right, yeah, and I'm okay with that low end noise. I kind of like that. All right, so after engine start, we have during warm up.
Checklist during warm-up. Heighted covers and gear pins. On board, ground power.
But we can't hear the guys talking anymore.
Battery and generator.
Okay. Let me turn off some of these filters again.
Checked.
The gyro is caged.
Set. Checklist warm-up completed.
Alright, so I need to leave it on compressor mode. Alright, if that's the case, let me see if I can find out where that hiss is coming from. Alright, that little bit of wind noise is okay. As long as we can hear the co-pilots and shit. Alright, let me... I think we're good for taxi. Oh yeah, well, let's click on taxi.
Checklist taxiing. Taxi lights.
On and extended.
Clock and altimeters. Set.
And set.
Brake selector lever.
Set.
All turn indicators.
Checked.
Checked. Proper
Reverse.
reversing.
More info. Let's set that as our frequency.
Checked.
Alright, let's taxi out.
Checklist taxiing completed.
Alright, so far we're not peaking, which is good. We're right at that level, which I'm okay with. Oh, there's a runway right there we can use. The gyro is caged. Red Wings makes a really good Zeppelin as well. If you guys are into trying to fly the Zeppelin, they have a really cool version. Very difficult to fly, actually. That Zeppelin is really difficult, actually. All right, so in this airplane, when you are taking off, hang on. When you're taking off, you're going to have them manage it for you. Do max power, right? They'll say max power set. At that point, you release the parking brake. Once you put the landing gear up, and then you'll click METO power. Once you get flaps clean, then you can click on climb power, and that should
Checklist takeoff.
be what you would need to do for takeoff.
No-go speed is 103
completed.
knots.
2 completed.
We're going to leave this on flight
3
instruments.
completed. 4 completed.
ADF1.
Run up feathering.
1 completed.
And we are going to be heading to the southeast.
2 completed.
Or southwest, actually, I think, to get to that VOR station.
3 completed.
You have your
4 completed.
flight path here, flight path here,
Door and
off,
windows.
VOR localizer, and glide slope.
Closed.
Trim tabs.
Checked.
Flaps
When you
60%.
level off, before you can put the autopilot
Wing
on,
flaps stats.
you have to level off.
Checked.
You push this cage switch up,
Auxiliary control boosters.
wait until
Oh.
this is flashing, and then click on
Auto
autopilot clutch here,
Armed.
and then you should be able to click on
Flaps 60%.
autopilot and
Set
altitude
lights.
control,
On.
and then you can use these wheels here to move the
Fixtures.
nose up or down, depending on if you're trying to climb or descend. You do run into autopilot
Features,
issues. You have to turn off these servo switches as well,
Air conditioning.
and make sure that it's uncaged. Then you cage it,
Fuel pumps.
put these levers on,
1, 2, 3.
wait
4,
for it to flash, and then you can click on the clutch, and then you can reactivate your autopilot.
Set.
Checklist before takeoff completed.
All right, so let's get takeoff clearance now.
Checklist takeoff clearance.
Let's line up.
Coal flaps.
Set
They usually set
30%.
the lights and everything too for takeoff. This plane does take a long time to slow down, like when you're coming in for an approach. This is not like other propeller planes that I've flown. You need to give yourself a little bit of distance, like 20 miles, to start slowing down. I recommend turning off the assisted help from the engineer and the co-pilot while you're landing as well. Otherwise, they'll control the engine speed for you, and that's not something you really want them to do during landing. In my humble opinion, in my humble real internet pilot opinion, if you're having trouble turning, hit the brakes. That'll realign you a little bit as you're holding down the rudders. All right, so let's put on the parking brake. Let's go max power.
Max power.
Roger.
We're holding the
Max power.
brakes. We need to head on a 238 heading right now to get to, I guess.
Power set.
All right, now we can release the brakes. Don't really hear much of the engine, just wind noise. That's okay, we'll adjust it as we get up in the air.
Rotation. No-go speed.
Okay, wipers off. Hang on a second. What did I have my gear set to? Oh, it is G? Shouldn't be G. All right, let's go Mito power.
Veto power.
Roger. Mito power.
Let's turn a little bit.
Gear is up.
Having a hard time turning the airplane.
Five 500 feet.
All right, after takeoff.
400. Climb checklist. Landing gear lever. Up, then not through. 300. 200. 200.
Climb power.
Roger.
It's not letting us get up in the air.
100.
Let me turn off the assisted help here. Yeah, it is not letting me climb.
Warning. Total failure. All hydraulic systems.
Yeah, that is weird. All right, let's start again. That's... Wow. Yeah, let's just try this again real quick. I got a few minutes here. Well, you know what? Let's start on the runway. Wow, that is weird. Maybe there's a glitch with this airplane. I don't even care about getting a flight plan at this point. I just want to see if we can get up in the air. That was really weird. I was pulling back on the yoke. Nothing was happening. Very strange.
Rotation.
Guider is caged. All right, normal. Orders.
60% set.
Max power.
Roger. Max power. Power set.
All right, let's roll. Let's try this again.
No-go speed.
Okay, rotation.
Climb checklist. Landing gear lever. Ito power. Up, then that.
Roger. Mito power. Power set.
Gear is up. Cruise
Alright.
power, please.
Climb power.
Roger. Roger. Cruise power.
Roger, flaps up.
Flaps up. Alright, we can turn this time. Still not really gaining much altitude. Let's get up a little bit in altitude and
Flaps up.
see if we can level out and then get our autopilot turned on. Nope, still none. All right, let's
500 feet. Autopilot is engaged.
All right, autopilot's engaged. We're in climb mode now. Let's turn. All right, I don't really hear a lot of engines. Let's play with this a little bit here. Okay, open. Let's put on subtract mode. Okay, we can turn subtract mode off now. Nah, I like EQ mode better, I think. Nope. Let's do compressor. Okay, let's go to... Okay, we can turn low end up here a little bit. There we go. Turn that down a little bit. Turn that one down a little bit. Okay, real compressor. Let's... Yeah, I kind of like that. That's not bad. All right, let's see if... All right, are we still turning? Yes, we are. We're still climbing, I think. Yep. Now, I don't really know if we are climbing, actually. Like, let me, where's, oh no, altitude. Oh yeah, we are climbing slowly. Okay. All right, let's see if we can program in that frequency again. Nope. All right, let's see if we can find one a little closer to us. Oh, we're heading in the wrong direction, that's why. All right, let's, yeah, let's type in this one here. Okay, more info, frequency, set. All right, that's still too far away. Let's try this one. There we go. All right, now let's, ooh, maybe not. All right, let's turn until we capture this thing. There we go. Now it's reading. And doesn't give us a mileage yet. All right, let's put on localizer mode here. That should lock us onto that VOR automatically. Yeah, we have flight instrument. We'll do... No, we need to do this mode, actually, on the left. Putting it on the other side would be more like a back course. Yeah, man, I kind of like this thing, man. It's a nice airplane. Definitely a nice airplane. I'm not sure why we were running into issues a moment ago with taking off, but that was very strange. Man, I love the flames. Isn't that so dope? Look at that. What a great little airplane. This is the same airplane that they used for the Hurricane Hunters for a long time. I think they still might use... No, I don't think they use these anymore for a Hurricane Hunter, but they used them for a long time for Hurricane Hunters. All right, you can see we now picked up the localizer. We're now actually turning. All right, very cool. All right, well, let's get X-Plane open so I can check out this last airplane real quick. This airplane I'm really excited about. Now, I have not tried using these filters on X-Plane yet. So I'm just going to turn off pretty much... No, I guess I'll leave them all on. See what happens. Let's get back here. It's a good chance we're going to be flying the 777 later tonight. I should say possibly, probably going to be PMDG actually, because the 737, they had that new update out now for Marketplace for the high line upgrades or whatever for the interior. So yeah, maybe we'll fly a 738 flight later. Maybe we'll fly like a Ryanair flight and pretend we're crashing it or something like that. Just kidding, just kidding. Airplane crashes are not funny. They do make for good content, though. They do make for good content. All right, let's turn on X-Plane. All right, let me just make sure we don't have any updates first. Let me just load into the base Skyhawk. Where are we at here? Oh, Hagerstown Regional. Okay, yeah, that's okay. Little hometown airport there. Do you use Skunkcraft, or I forget the name of it, Skunkworks or Skunkcraft, to do the updates? It's usually best to load into the Cessna, the base Cessna, and then run the updater and see if there's any updates from there. But yeah, I got 4 airplanes running through that updater, and then better pushback as well. Okay. Plugins. All right, check for available updates. Best airplane I ever bought right here. FlyJSim -8 Q400. Best airplane ever. Some files are missing. Oh no, 19 kilobytes. Oh no. All right. Come on now. This is a fun little airplane too, this V-Flight Cherokee 140. It's a fun little airplane. Okay, so let's update. Not sure what's missing. We just loaded the airplane last night. Come on, updates. Okay, all files repaired successfully. Let's go to plugins. Let's check for an update there. All right, repair everything. Very good. So that's now been done. Everything's been updated. Let's now get the Bonanza here. They have a lot of liveries that come with it. Well, not a lot, but like 7. I always like that. That green one's pretty nice. You can put on tip tanks while we're in the airplane as well. All right, flight controls. We're going to do props because that's how I have it set. We're going to leave real world weather off for now. All right, I'll be right back. All right, before we jump in, let me get one of their folders open here because they actually give you graphic settings. That I know I can share. Let me just get the document folder pulled up in the aircraft folder here. Yeah, it comes with a bunch of documentation. Really a huge flight book, graphic settings. Okay, there we go. So let's go ahead and share my screen. All right, so first thing, Texture quality. Looks like they're saying it needs to be medium. Nah, that looks like that's all the way up. Okay, so let's set texture. All right, texture's all the way up. Ambient occlusion, let's put that down to medium. Rendering all the way. FSR greatly improved. Okay, so set that to off. Anti-aliasing. Put that down right over the word filtering. Oh, wrong one here. Wait, which one is it? Anti-aliasing. Okay, so it's the one right above anisotropic filtering. Okay, so this one here. All right, anisotropic filtering, make sure that's at 8x or higher. All right, we'll put it on 8x. Oh, that needs to restart. Okay, no problem. Cloud quality. Oh, that's VR. We don't have VR. Okay, so maximum. I mean, oh, it's right here actually. Rendering. Oh no, that's off. Okay, ambient occlusion. Anti-aliasing 4, and then anisotropic filtering 4. And then rendering, pull off. Okay, ambient occlusion, medium. All right, that looks good. All right, we have to restart airplane. X-plane, not airplane, X-plane. All right, let's restart. All right, new flights, and we can just load in the same airplane. Alright, come on, X-plane, let's go, bitch. I have not turned this airplane on yet. I have not tried to fly it yet. I haven't done anything with this airplane yet. The only thing I did was just make sure it loaded. Another thing you can try to do if you have access to a lot of these kind of filters, like if you download them, you can always use AI and it'll build you a pretty good skeleton, pretty good base for the filters. It gives you a really good direction on where to program everything, and then you can kind of tweak it from there. So if you're going to fly the A320 Phoenix, just type that in, type in the filters you have or what you're trying to accomplish, and it'll give you a really good filter chain. All right, so this tablet is right there as well. There's a little button on the left here you can use to pull it up. But we have all of our aircraft options. Electric tug, GPU, doors, tie downs. You can remove all tie downs. You can open up all doors from here. We can close all the doors again. There's also weight and balance you can do here. Kilograms, pounds, tip tanks. You can set the passengers. Save, we can load it. Panel editor, this is one of the dopest things I saw in here. You can actually change where the instruments show up. So like if you want to change like, you can just drag it and look at that. It just drags it. How dope is that? Right now we just drag the fuel flow. If you want to drag the RPMs, just drag it to where you want it. Well, it's supposed to do it. But... There we go. See, like this one here, our fuel meter for the right tank. Look at that. You can just drag it where you want it. That's cool as hell, man. I've never seen an airplane like that before. Engine configuration. Static liveries. Here's where you can actually change liveries while you're flying and then just apply it, which is cool as hell. Dynafeel. Heavier, lighter feeling while you're flying. Logbook. That's what it sounds like. Our checklist, which we're going to use in here in a minute. Ground handling. You have a slew mode built into it. You have your different cameras here, which is pretty dope, I think. Ground ops, tug, covers. You can create your own liveries if you want. Any color combinations, lettering on it. Flight computer. Avitab. It is cool. I agree. The Avitab doesn't work great in here. I've never really been able to interact with. I haven't been able to really interact with it yet. Like it'll bring it up, but I just can't really like click on anything. So if you have Avitab, it's better just to have a separate button programmed for it and then just bring it up whenever. You have your JSON folder here for whatever you may need that for. Equipment, here we go. Pilot, male or female, tip tanks on, tip tanks off. Tip tank window. So you can see, I guess, the fuel in there, which is pretty fucking dope. Windows tinted or untinted. Hope we don't get pulled over if our tint is too dark. Here's your updater for Skunk if you want to do it here. And then Sandbox, which I've never really tried before, but if you want to try it, you can. I don't really know what it's for yet. Oh, create pop-up windows. Okay. All right, let's get our checklist up here. Oh, you know, before, hang on, I just want to make sure I have something for Avitab set up here. All right, Avitab, toggle tablet. Let's do, that's okay. All right, now that should pull up. There we go. Okay, very good. All right, so park and brake. Okay. Oh, yeah. One other thing, too, I forgot about. In this airplane, we have this wing down here. So I don't know if it actually works in this airplane, but being that this looks like a trainer airplane, how both yokes are kind of like tied together, when you turn this knob, it gives one side more control than the other. You can just double click on it and it'll put it back to center. But yeah, I thought that was pretty dope. All right, park and brake is on. The guider is caged. All right, control locks removed. Okay, oops, damn it. Okay, all switches are off. All doors are closed. Control surfaces. Tie downs are all removed. We'll pretend like all this is... Well, this is all just checking and removing. Okay, let's go to the next page. Clear, clear, secure, secure, secure. Okay, we'll just pretend like all of that is good. All right, before starting, all avionics off, circuit breakers in. They should all be in. Let's make sure they are. Sorry, I forget what some of the camera movements are in here. They're different than Microsoft. I don't think there's any other... No, okay. All right, circuit breakers, flaps are up. Cowl flaps, let's make sure they're open. Yep, they are open. All right, battery. Okay, I think I have external power connected. Let's see here. No, not there. Is it? Panel, engine. Oh, it's under aircraft op. Okay, GPU is on. So let's put on battery and alternator, kind of like you would do in the Cessna. All right, what do we do next? Let's see here, checklist. Okay, that's all right. All right, starting engines. Alternator off. Auxiliary power unit connect. Set output to... Really, do we need to have an auxiliary power unit connected to this? All right, we'll just say the GPU is the APU, I guess. All right, do we need to turn our fuel on? I imagine we would have to turn our fuel on, right? Like, fuel mixture all the way in. Let's put on our beacon light. All right, let's try turning the engine and seeing what happens. I don't see any, I don't see a fuel lever. You know, like some of these airplanes, they have a fuel lever where you have to, like, switch fuel. Usually, it's either down here. That's cool. Oh, I forgot to tell you one thing with that Super Constellation. They have floats that come out of it. So if you crash land in the water, you could actually have floats that come out of it. Yeah, I forgot to tell you guys. Oh no, camera system. It's definitely very cumbersome using a regular controller in this simulator. All right, let's try to turn on the engines. All right, let's move our prop in a little bit. Maybe that's the problem. All right, must be missing fuel somewhere. All right, fuel is all the way in. Taxi, battery, pitch, defrost. All right, no fuel button there. Oh, is that fuel right there? Hang on a second. No, that's just transfer. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything on the checklist here. I don't think I did. All right, let's turn the alternator off. Maybe that's it. I know we can't hear the engine spooling anyways. Hopefully I'll get that fixed here in a moment. Very weird. Let's see here. Okay, light switch, fuel selector valve, check operation, select tank more. Yeah, that's what I need to find, the fuel selector valve. That's why we can't start the engines yet. There's no fuel. Okay, there's fresh air. Oh, there's the fuel. Right there. I think. Yep. Now we should be okay. Yeah, man, this camera keeps on moving. Like, like when I slide it a little bit to the side, it just keeps on moving. There we are. Usually it's something simple when you can't turn the fuel on. All right, let's turn the avionics on. Let me play with some filters and turn off the sound real quick of the game. I mean, of the music. Okay, let's see here. Filters. Actually, I'm just going to run without any of those other filters on it right now. We're just going to leave it how it is and just turn the limiter on. Okay, let's click on OK. Oh, we have one of these in here. That's cool. And does it work? Oh shit! Oh shit! I love X-Plane, man. Look at that. So dope how it just pops up like that. How do we close this out? Do we just click on it again? Dude, I love X-Plane so much, man. Look at that. That's dope as fuck. Alright, let's see here. We need to find, let's just find a VOR station to fly to. Oh, you know, I guess I could use AviTab for that. All right, map. Let's fly like northwest here. Let's plug in this one here. So 115. Wow, that is loud. I wish I could see how loud it is while I'm flipping it. Oh well, it is what it is. Alright, so we have 115. Let's switch that over. All right, let's just turn on our display there. That's our ADF, and we have nav right here. That is so cool that all this shit just comes right in like that. That is dope as hell. I love X-Plane so much. All right, taxi lights. Let's put some flaps down. What is that connected to us right now? Hang on. Let me put this, let me turn our filter up a little bit. Our limiter. Second here. Let me subtract this out. Give it a few more seconds. Okay. Now let's put this back on compressor. You know, it's not building a profile. Maybe we can't use this in, Alright, that's fine. Oh, that's why it's not working. I don't have it turned on. That's why it's not working. Alright, let me build a noise profile real quick. Usually takes about 5 or 10 seconds. Alright, that's now done. Excellent. Alright, that's now done. I'm not worried about the other filters at the moment. Close the interface. Let's go back inside the cabin and see if we can get rid of that, that device there. Guess that might have been it. Yep. See, now I want to get this boosted. Hang on a second. Let me just put an expander on real quick. In the filters here. Part of the reason for the stream today, too, is so I can get some of these levels. Okay, expander. I don't think they have an expander. Let me just add an expander here. We'll leave the ratio at 2:1. Alright, output gain. But I think it's going to get really loud if I, let me see here. I bet you if I go on the outside here, it's going to get really loud. Yep. Alright, let's go back to filters again. Oh yeah, yeah. Alright, let's delete the expander out. There we go, we'll put the compressor on. we'll leave it like that. So I just have the limiter turned on right now. Since there's no wind noise to worry about, I think we'll be okay. But that'll at least keep the volume up pretty well. All right, let's... Goddamn. I'm so not used to these controls. All right, park and brake. Oh shit, wrong button. Hang on, I forget what the park and brake is. Shit. No! Hang on, I forget what brakes are in the controller. Hang on a second. Do I have brakes set up on the joystick? I don't know if I do or not, actually. Oh, I do have brakes set. What the... That's circle. That's flaps up, that's flaps down. What the hell is number 10? Button 8. Alright, well let's get rid of flaps then. We'll just do park and brake. We'll do brakes. Toggle brakes regular effort. And for... Alright, that's brakes. That's flaps up. Okay, we'll leave that. That's fine. Brakes work. Hey, you know, this would be a really good time to check out slew mode, actually. Let's put the parking brakes back on. Let's go into slew mode here. Wow. Boy, I wish they had it like this in Microsoft. My goodness. That is cool as hell. Wow, that's cool. That's really useful, actually. That's great. Alright, let's take off so I can... Yeah, I have to end this stream here in a few minutes. When I come back tonight, I'm gonna be using the actual Turtle Beach system like I usually do on the weekends. I think. Especially if I'm flying in this simulator. If I'm flying a flight here tonight, I'm definitely gonna be... I think we got enough room to just take off on the side here, I think. Yep. Oh, shit. All right. Boy, that sounds good. Christed! All right, let's start off on the runway. Maybe we didn't have enough room to take off. All right. There was not enough room to take off. I stand corrected. Oh, we got to start everything up again. Shit. All right, that's fine. All right, load. Okay. Let's go ahead and... These fucking controls. Stop spinning me around, bitch! Jesus Christ. Jesus. Alright, we're on the right tank. Or left tank, actually. Alright, let's put on... Let's see here. Ground handling. Oh no, not ground handling. Aircraft options. Let's put the GPU back on. Okay, that all looks good. Let's turn the alternator back off again. Oh, we're on pause, that's why. Okay, battery. Just make sure we're lined up with our navigation before we take off. Wow, that is loud. Jesus Christ. All right, let's go. Park and brake off. Yeah, I didn't set the trim either. Hopefully we'll be okay. Shit, I never turned the GPU off. Oh well. When I get access to my mouse again, I'll... Landing gear up. So far, so good. switch tanks. Ah, we can click on that too. Very nice. Nice little airplane. There is a performance table that comes with this, which shows like proper climate, speed, and all that. I didn't look at any of that yet. I think that looks okay. Let's try to climb a little bit more again real quick. Let's go 500 feet per minute. Nice little airplane, I like it. Wonder how it looks at nighttime. We'll have to check that out later after I get situated. But yeah, man, that's about it for now. I gotta go, oh shit, I don't even know if I have time to take a shower. Damn, ain't that about a bitch? That's what you get for playing video games, Greg. An old man playing video games. All right, I'm out of here. I'll be back tonight, hopefully with a full flight. I'm not sure what we're gonna do. We might play Subnautica. I don't know, actually. It's a Sunday night. We might just chill out. But if you're looking for some new airplanes, these airplanes are awesome. This one is amazing for a single propeller plane. Yeah, it sounds great. It's very easy to use. It comes with a lot of good documentation. I know I wasn't demonstrating very good use of ease of use today, but that's just because you know, I like to keep it real every once in a while. I like to show y'all that I'm human too. I make mistakes. I make mistakes. We crash airplanes too in this house. So, all right, I will see y'all in the next episode. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. And once again, this episode is brought to you in part by your mama. Tell her I said what's up. I'll talk to her again soon. Just kidding. See ya.